Hey everybody, it's Gamer Gramps here. Today we are continuing our science playthrough with Ethiopia, where we're using a faith-based economy rather than the standard gold one in order to go into space. Not only that, but we are using the Sanguine Pact, aka the Vampire Secret Society, in order to get there, playing a peaceful game nonetheless. So it's a little bit of a spin on that secret society and what they're generally used for. So if that sounds like might be something you want to watch, then definitely stick around. If you want to get good at Civ 6, then subscribe and click the bell to keep up with this channel. Alright, so here we go. We're going to do a quick overview of what happened in the last episode in case you did just stumble here randomly. I'll also put a link in the top right hand corner if you did miss the first session and you want to catch up on what you missed other than hear me ramble about it. But for those of you who don't, or for those of you who are on Twitch, because by the way, this is live on Twitch right now. If you don't know already, I started as of this week, actually Monday, September 7th, 2020. Streaming 3 times a week on Twitch, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. So if you have a chance, stop by and say hi live while we're over there. Otherwise, if you're in a rush and you want to actually see how this game ends before I get the videos edited and uploaded to YouTube, that would be your best bet, because if you go there and you follow me for free, because in case you're not familiar with Twitch, you can follow just like subscribing for free on YouTube, and then you can just go to the videos tab and all of the streams will be there in the video for you to peruse through at your leisure. So you'll be able to find out how this game ends a lot faster than you would by watching the YouTube videos here. But enough about that. Oh, other than there's the link is in the description down below if you do want to pop over there, but it's Twitch TV/GamerGramps. So pretty fucking easy to remember if you ask me. But anyways, all right. So like I said, I outlined what we're doing there. Playing as Ethiopia, we're obviously settling as many cities as we can on hills in order to take advantage of that. We have not gotten our religion as of yet. We're still working on it. We're actually a little bit late to the party, so we're doing some holy site prayers in order to make sure that we get one. However, we were lucky enough to get our Pantheon fairly early, and we managed to secure ourselves the Desert Folklore Pantheon. So as you can see, we have quite a few cities planned out here around our little patch of desert. This might as well be a patch of gold as far as I'm concerned, because our faith generation is just going to be stupid crazy. We already have 1+6 faith adjacency campus holy site up right there. We have another one on the way in Gondar and we will be having more throughout the game. If they're not +6, they'll at least be fairly strong. So that is definitely going to give us a boost we need. We are currently heading into a classical era normal age. Unfortunately, we weren't quite close enough to get a golden age. In fact, we weren't even close. You can see we only have 12 era score at the moment, but that's no worries at all. We are definitely going to be just stockpiling our faith, so we're all set for our golden age in the medieval era when we get there, because we'll definitely be getting a golden age. I can tell you right now for sure, because just the combination of different tricks and techniques we can use in order to get that era score. And then not to mention, we're going to be getting our unique tile improvement as Ethiopia unlocked here. If we haven't already, I can't remember, but that's going to be 4 era score as soon as we build our first rock hewn church. And yeah, that's enough of an overview. We got some stuff pinned here, as you can see, but we'll get into that more as we get across it in the game. If you're enjoying the video, do me a favor and smash the like button. It really helps small channels like mine grow and get discovered. Better yet, leave a comment while you're at it. Interacting with my community is hands down my favorite part of this whole YouTube experience, and I do my best to respond to each and every one. And by this time, at least I hope it should go without saying that I'm more than happy to answer any questions you might have, so leave them in the comments down below, or jump over to our community Discord server and get a hold of me there. But yeah, now that that's out of the way, we'll actually start playing here in just un momento. Sorry about all that. Okay. We are good to go and ready to kick back into the swing of things. We've got plenty of cities planned out to work towards. We're obviously going to be focusing a lot more on getting these next 3 cities up right here, because they're going to have their crazy faith bonuses from the Desert Folklore Pantheon that we managed to snag. So after these cities, though, we'll definitely be just branching out from there as quickly as we can. We're going to be getting our ancestral hall in the government plaza over here as quickly as we can as well, in order to make our life that much easier. Meanwhile, like I said, we're going to be aiming to get our golden age dedication, our golden age in the medieval era. And we're going to take the monumentality dedication so that we can buy our builders and settlers with faith. And, not to mention traders, obviously, as well as getting that 30% discount on builders and settlers. And that discount applies to both gold and faith. But for now, we are stuck in a normal era. So what we are going to do, free inquiry is usually the pick that I would suggest most people go for in most situations. However, not in our situation. Anytime you're playing a game with a religion, where you're founding a religion, and you don't get your golden age in the classical era to start the game, I would highly recommend that you choose Exodus of the Evangelist here, because you're going to gain +2 air score each time you convert a city to your founded religion for the first time, which means that once we get our religion up and we earn our great profit here shortly, which actually, speaking of the devil, I should check into that when I finish my thought here. However, because all of our cities are going to be converting to our religion as soon as we found a religion when we have holy sites in them. That's going to be 2 air score for every city we settle. And then on top of that, specifically with the strategy that we're doing, what we're going to be choosing, one of our beliefs is going to be the religious colonization belief that we choose. And what that does is any city that you found, as long as your religion is the majority religion in your cities, when you found a new city, that city automatically starts with your religion. So this is going to really springboard, as we're going to be concentrating on settling very fast here. And this will work out probably to between 10 and 20 air score for us just from this choice of our dedication alone. So it is definitely worthwhile. Squander said, I started watching your videos on YouTube back in April because I was bored and quarantined and had just picked Civ 6 back up. I honestly got so distracted just watching all of your videos that I barely played Civ 6 since. Well, hey, at least you're living vicariously through me. And when you do get back to Civ 6, maybe you can step up to the next difficulty level if that's what you're looking to do. But I mean, like, that being said, I don't mean to put myself on a pedestal by any means either. It doesn't fucking matter what difficulty you're playing at on Civ 6, as long as you're having fun. That's the important thing. Like, when I'm saying, you know, encouraging people to go higher and higher in difficulty, those are for like the ones that actually want to do that. I mean, you could fucking play on settler difficulty, and if you're happy doing it and enjoy the game, that's really all that matters. All right, so meanwhile, I believe we were heading over to go play with our barbarian friends over there. Just because we already got our invite to the Sanguine Pact does not mean we don't want to do it. Meanwhile, though, I think I want to grab a slinger if I haven't already. Yeah, we'll grab a slinger in... Oh, actually, I don't think I'm saving my money for anything, so we're actually just going to go... Wait, let me make sure... How many turns away are we? Yeah, we're still four turns plus political philosophy before we start working on the pyramids. So that's plenty of time to get the pyramids tile over here. So I'm going to actually buy us a slinger because I want to boost the Eureka to archery here by killing a unit with the slinger when we go play with the barbarians. And in case you don't know, if you're a newer player, you want to be doing everything humanly possible in order to get as many Eurekas and inspirations in your tech and civic trees throughout the game as possible. Even these ones all add up when you're really trying to shave time off. Like, we're trying to win this game as fast as humanly possible. Like, we'll definitely be getting a sub 200 science victory, but I'm personally pushing for like closer to sub 1, like around 150 turn win or somewhere as close to there as I can manage. But we'll see how it goes. Like, I haven't tested this strategy. Like, I tested the early game out on a different map, but I haven't finished that game by any means, so I don't know if it's going to be successful or if I should have just gone for the Void Singers rather than try the Space Vampire thing. But that's how you find out. You play the game and you experiment and have fun doing it. So that's what we're doing. Meanwhile, now that we did get early Empire here, oh, actually, no. Yeah, we don't need Revelation. I was thinking we needed a +2 great profit points per turn, but we don't have the government to slot it in, so there's no point getting mysticism first unless you need an envoy to send to a city-state, which we do not, as we'll be getting the envoy to Hattusa there fairly shortly. And let's take a quick look. Hunza is a great frickin'... if you have the city-state, I would highly recommend you prioritize becoming suzerain of them. I will definitely be fighting with Pachacuti for suzerainship of the city-state throughout the game because your trade routes generate an extra gold for every 5 tiles they travel. That is fucking epic, especially as you get like so many more traders up throughout the game, like in the mid to late game. And then not to mention, as you do more and more trade routes, when they complete, they make a trade trading post in the city you send them to, which allows you to send your trade routes even further away than, because the trading post lets them go further than you can when you first start sending them. So like Hunza just gets more and more value as the game goes on, and we want lots of trade routes anyways, because that's always a good thing. In the meantime, though, we'll definitely be prioritizing Hattusa just for that boost in science. And then, not to mention, provides you with 2 of each strategic resources per turn that you have revealed but not improved. And we'll get some diamonds and horses from them as well. But first things first, we need to head towards political philosophy. So we'll grab state workforce next, which will let us get the government plaza online here once our city gets to 4 population. I do believe it was... Oh no, yeah, so we will most likely make it in this city because it'll grow faster once we get these tiles improved. We'll probably do a farm triangle here, even though we'll be overriding the tiles eventually, just so we can get their population up. Ideally, I'd like to get it to 7 really quick so we can get the government plaza. Or actually, never mind. I'll be doing it in Gondar because they have more shops there, so I take that back. But we still want to grow this city to 7 as quickly as we can so we can get both the campus and our industrial zone up here. So when we have a chance, we'll be getting a builder over there. Meanwhile, now that I've finished rambling, let's take a look at the Great Prophet situation here, because I honestly don't remember. So 3 religions have gone, but there's 6 possible religions because we're playing on a large map, I do believe. Let's just double check that I'm not crazy. Yeah, 6 religions are available. We are on a large map, so we are definitely in good shape. We're only at 5 out of 60, so we need to put some work in. But that's 1, 2, yeah, we'll be securing ourselves a religion. We're gonna jump ahead of the pack here once we finish the Holy Site prayers there in 2 turns. Plus, we have the Holy Site coming up online in the capital as well, and then this city won't be farther or very far behind once it starts building its population up a little bit. But we're gonna have to give it some TLC. In fact, I'm gonna switch over and give it control of the pasture tile here in order to help it grow faster and get better production. Yeah. Hey Ronzo, how's it going, man? Ronzo asks, which society are you going for, Tyler? Oh, hey Ronnie, it didn't click in right away when I read your name at first, who it is. We're going for a science victory here. However, we're doing a faith-based science victory rather than like a gold-based science victory like you normally do. So we will be using Moksha in order to purchase our districts with faith rather than using Reina to purchase your districts with gold like you do when you play a normal science game. So, and then on top of that, we're also using the Vampire Secret Society. Well, not yet, but we will be in the medieval era. Speaking of which, before I get distracted and forget about it, we need to figure this out because we need to have 2 governor titles saved up by the time we hit the medieval era. So actually, it will be good. We'll just save the two from here, which means we can spend, we have 1 right now. So we can spend that 1, state workforce 1, the government plaza 1, and the ancestral hall 1. All right, so we can spend 4 more governor titles, and then we have to save them for the vampires so that we can instantly get 2 vampires when we hit the first turn of the medieval era, and can instantly get our vampire castles up as well. So speaking of vampire castles, let's take a minute and look through our territory here. What we want to be looking for is a cluster of hills together, or hills with forests on them, so that we can go and ahead of time build mines and stuff to get them ready in order to really take advantage of the yields they give. So tundra is not a good option if we can avoid it because of the lack of food. Because remember, your vampire tiles gobble up all of the yields of the 6 adjacent tiles to them, so you want to have the best tiles that you possibly can in a perfect world. That might be a location here, so we'll pin it now to keep it in mind, but I'm not 100% sold yet because of that 1 tile there. Plus, we'd be settling that city. Actually, if we settle this city first, we can buy our way to those tiles and improve them before we settle this city. That's the other thing, in case you don't know, the way vampire castles work is they basically snapshot the yields of all their adjacent tiles on the turn you create them. And then after that, you can completely get rid of all the other tiles around them. So for instance, if we settle this city here and we buy our way out here, we can make mines on the tiles all around it, or lumber mills, etc., right? Place the vampire castle here, and then once the yields are all sucked up and it's snapshotted into the vampire castle, then we can come here and settle this city. We can chop this stuff out, get rid of the mines if we have to. We can replace them with districts, do whatever we want, and that vampire castle will always give the same amount of yields as it was originally created to our capital city. So that is actually sounding like a good idea to me at the moment. That's probably our best location for the first one. And then we'll have to keep our eye out. I'm not going to really worry about it too much right now. Possibly here for the second one. Right, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this would actually be a good location for the second one. Because we have to buy out to this tile to get the stone anyways like we want to. So this will be our next city settle. Because then we can build a farm here and get some good farming yields. And yeah, I think that's probably our best bet. Ronzo says, going for Hinduism via God and Buddha. Tundra is really trash unless you play as Canada. Cities can't farm in Scotland too for golf course. Yeah, but I personally think that Canada's bonus is too weak in my personal opinion anyway. I think they're a really underpowered civ, and as a Canadian, I'm bitterly disappointed that that's our representation in this game. To be completely honest, I fucking hate that civilization. But anywho, so actually, now that I'm thinking about that more, what we will do is we will plan for a vampire castle over here. However, we'll get it here. But this will be our third vampire castle. And sorry, I'm getting distracted. It'll be our third vampire castle that we build, so we'll put a number 3 here so I don't forget. But what we'll do is in this city, we'll go ahead and build St. Basil's. I just need to double check. I'm pretty sure you just need to build it adjacent to your city. So let's double check that to make sure I'm not crazy. Yeah, it just has to be adjacent to the city. So that is perfect. And then let's also plan a Munson Scott. So this would be our campus. And then this would be a Munson Scott, right? Hold on. 5 tiles or snow hill tiles within 3 owned by this player. These yields are doubled on a snow or snow hills tile. There we go. So our Munson is planned out and ready to go. So that is all good. And these tiles will actually be very good because we're not settling the city until late in the game anyway. So with this city here, we'll be able to get that vampire thing up and running. We might build it in here. If there's not mountains here, like we could build it up here if there's better tiles and just build lumber mills on there. But we'll wait until the St. Basil's is completed. So that way, in case you don't know, aside from increasing the religious tourism from the city, which I don't care about in this game, it also gives +1 food, +1 production, and +1 culture to all Tundra tiles in the city. It's like a... Oops, shit. It's like a Petra for Tundra, basically. So that would definitely make setting the vampire city up here an interesting thought. But I'm not 100% sold on that. We'll figure it out. Just wanted to take a sec to let you know I'm now an official partner of Fanatical Games. They're a great company that you can buy 100% guaranteed official game keys from, which is great because you purchase a Steam key so you don't have to worry about using a different installer like Epic Games or EA's Origin. You can find links in the description down below for both the Windows and Mac versions of the games I usually cover on the channel. But if you're buying anything else, just leave a comment below and I can give you a link for any game you're looking to buy. Believe it or not, they have deals on regularly that are even cheaper than purchasing directly from Steam itself. A perfect example of this is the New Frontier Pass for Civ 6. I literally bought it directly from Steam yesterday when it was launched, only to find out that it's on sale for 12% cheaper at Fanatical for the next 6 days. So before grabbing your next game, consider checking out fanatical.com to help yourself and help support me at the same time. Roger says, oh my god, I'm extremely sorry. Hey, no worries at all. It's not your fault Canada sucks in this game. Like, they're not completely horrible, don't get me wrong, but I just think their bonuses are a little bit too underpowered. I think if they got another food or another production, it might be better, but that's neither here nor there. Especially when Canada is played by the civilizations, it just turns out like the AI doesn't play it very well either. So anytime Canada's in your game, they're generally speaking, like probably 9 times out of 10 very, very weak. All right, meanwhile, we do want to wait for our slinger to catch up a little bit, but that doesn't mean that we can't go over there and kind of poke around a bit. Not to mention we can grab that goodie hut over there. However, I would like to get a scout with it. So I think after our holy site, we'll grab a quick scout in the capital, and we'll leave the goodie hut for the scout. So that way the scout can get its promotion quick, and it'll be able to cross the terrain and explore the map easier. 1 gold Taz is following. Thanks for the follow, man. I appreciate it. I am brand new to this whole Twitch thing here too, so if you guys have any suggestions or anything like that, feel free to ask. And as well, on top of that, feel free to ask any questions you want about the game. I'm fairly knowledgeable if I'm not bragging or anything, but I do know what I'm talking about for the most part when it comes to Civ. So if you do have questions, I'm happy to help. And again, that's regardless of whether it's actually about whatever we're doing in the game specifically, or just about civilization in general. Like, I'm more than happy to answer any questions about the game that you might have, as long as I know what I'm talking about. In the meantime, here, we finished our holy site prayers. Oop, I also am an idiot and forgot to use this promotion, even though I talked about it. So let's definitely go ahead and promote Pingala now. It's more important that we take Connoisseur to increase our culture, because in the early game, culture is a lot harder to come by than sciences. So we're going to go ahead and take Connoisseur first. However, we will be getting Researcher next, so don't worry, you won't be missing out on that. But meanwhile, I think here we're going to grab a builder so we can get these tiles improved and help the city grow faster like we talked about. Because I think we should be in pretty good shape. Let's take a look here quickly. Yeah, we're up to 21 now and we're earning, well, I guess I can't check. But next turn we'll be earning 2 per turn. Yeah, 2 per turn, which should be, I think, okay. Oh, actually, never mind. We better keep running them because the other ones, it looks like some of them went into golden ages, which is helping them with their religious thing. Not to mention, or they might already be at political philosophy and have revelations in. So I think 8 turns is too much. Let's go right back into another holy site prayer. Ronnie says, for the Vampire Castle, I guess we need to raid as many barbarian camps as possible. I learned from your video and get the Sanguine Pax's Heidi. Actually, Ronnie, we already have achieved that. So yes, that is... Ooh, we got a tile improvement from a dust storm, so that's cool. We are on level 4 disaster setting too, for anybody who doesn't know that. So there should be quite a lot of natural disasters going on throughout the game. But yeah, Ronnie, we already actually got our invitation from Sanguine. We just haven't used it yet, because the reason we're waiting is the first promotion and spending the governor title in it unlocks a vampire unit, but that's it. But because we're playing a peaceful game, we don't care about the vampires. Like, normally if you're playing domination, you want to get the vampires out as early as possible so you can start killing units and getting their combat strength up. But because we're playing a peaceful game, I could give two shits about my vampires' combat strength. I just literally want them to build vampire castles. Like, that's it. And so what we're doing instead is we're prioritizing using our governor titles that we get for our different secret society invites, and we're using them on regular governors in order to give us a boost and get our stuff up that much quicker. And then we need to stop and make sure we have 2 tiles saved up for when we hit the medieval era, because that's when you unlock the ability where your vampires can actually build you castles. So that is the game plan. All right, meanwhile, 1 turn until that scout's done, so that's not too... Oh, fuck me, I forgot to switch out of archery. God damn it. That was definitely an oversight on my point. I was talking about getting the kill with the slinger, and I didn't pay attention, so definitely wasted a couple turns of science there. It's not the end of the world, but it does count. Like, every little bit counts when you're trying to win the game as fast as you possibly can. So I need to pay more attention to that. In the meantime, we got state workforce, which means we have another policy to use. Definitely keeping in discipline for now. I think... Do I want to grab a settler in the capital? No, I'll build a shrine in the capital. Oh, actually, no, you know what? I'll finish this builder that we started earlier, because in case you weren't here in the first play session, we grabbed a builder and... sorry, we were starting to get a builder, and then we got one from a goodie hut, so we switched out of production. But now, since it's only 2 turns away, we'll finish the builder, because we can come get this cattle resource online, which is going to help our city grow faster, which will allow us to get to 4 population, so we can place another district down. But then after that builder, we'll go grab our shrine next, since our production is higher in the capital and it's only 6 turns for the shrine. But then probably after that shrine, we'll reevaluate, and we might run a holy site prayer depending on how we're doing for our profit points after that. Meanwhile, unfortunately, we don't have our double promotion for the scout in, but we still can get 4 combat strength, so we'll definitely attack their scout here. Which will help him get promoted a little bit faster. And meanwhile, we're headed straight towards political philosophy. I think I just remembered I had this scout over here. I think he's just hanging out. Or no, he's not. He's just kind of blocked in and has nowhere to go. So we're going to take control of his movement so that we can actually not just get fucking locked in forever over there. And meanwhile, we're going to promote Pingala here to +1 science for each citizen in the city, which will give us a boost to our science. And now, so that's our 2nd promotion, and I said I could use 4, right? Let's just double check that so I don't screw anything up. Oops. Yeah, because we get 2 more from the government plaza and from the ancestral hall, and then we're going to save recorded history and defensive tactics. So yeah, I can use 2 more promotions. So what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be promoting Magnus, which will come just in time for us to start chopping the pyramids when we get to political philosophy. And in order to do that, we need to make sure this city gets its population up. I'm just wondering if it's better to build it in this city since... Nah. Yeah, we'll just build 3 farms, and that'll help with their housing limit and get them to where they need to go. Alright, meanwhile, let's get ready to deal with these barbarians. I'm just checking if there's a hill around here. It's just easier for me to go into strategy view there to see. There isn't. However, I'm assuming there's going to be more barbarians coming, so I'm going to go on to the forest tile here so we have a better defensive position, just in case any of his friends show up, and because our slinger's still a few turns out before we can back him up there. Yes, and this is a science victory. Depends on the city count you want, man. Plus, religion cap is about theology and mysticism. Yeah, like, Ronnie, after we finish political philosophy, we're going to be beelining for theology here, because we want to get to the scripture card. And not to mention unlock our rock-hewn churches, as well as theater squares eventually for once we get some wonders. And then on top of that, we also want to get the oracle, right? Meanwhile, speaking of wonders, let's make sure See, and there you go. I would have forgot to do that. So we're going to switch out of currency and head straight for Masonry, so we can pre-build it to where it's ready, that as soon as we build that quarry that we're planning on, we can get the technology and start on the pyramids. There you go. The defensive bonus helped. We're almost there with our slinger. We could move forward and finish him off, but I'm just going to fortify and let him kill himself on us. In the meantime, with our scout here, I'm just going to heal in the capital, and then we'll set off with him next turn. And let's cross the river and get exploring. And there he goes. Sayonara, Mr. Barbarian. Alright, so again, we'll let our warrior heal up there, because our slinger has to come around anyway. What we're going to do is, because this camp is already spawning units, we're going to try and be a little bit sneaky here. We're going to take our warrior and come down this side and let him approach the camp through the tree, so he has good defensive bonus. And then, depending on what kind of units are around here, we're going to use our slinger as bait, because as soon as we step onto this tile here, or this tile here, or this tile here for that matter, and we're within visible range of the barbarian camp, as long as the spearman inside the camp is not injured, he will leave the camp empty to go kill our slinger, because he just perceives the slinger as a vulnerable ranged unit. And then we can just zip in with the builder, clear the camp because nobody will be guarding it, and then deal with the units between the two of them. So we'll see how that goes depending on how many barbarians are over there. In the meantime, our scout friend has come back to play. So we'll go ahead and bop him again for another 4 experience. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to bait him. We're going to move our builder out here because he's triggered. He might actually try and take our builder, which will be perfect because then we'll kill him next turn with our scout and take the builder back instantly. So hopefully he falls for our trap there. And in the meantime, let's get exploring with that scout. Not too shabby. So he has been triggered, but his camp hasn't been killed yet, so that's why he wouldn't take our builder, but that's fine. Our consolation prize is just getting our pasture out 1 turn earlier, but we have that online now. We're going to lock that in to make sure they're working it, because again, we want to get up to 4 population as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, let's check our other cities. I don't think I have a 3 food tile yet until we get a builder down there, right? All right, so meanwhile, we don't have the technology or anything, like we don't have irrigation to get that on. So I'm just going to leave that there for now. And we're going to take this builder and we're going to head to this city here. And we're going to take the builder that finishes in Gondar and send him down to Lalibela in order to get their farms out. And just that way, each of the cities will actually get boosted faster, because the travel time from here to here is shorter and here to here is shorter. Rather than sending this builder all the way down there, it would be like 10 turns before he got there. Ronnie says, I'm going to call it a night, friend. It's 3:30 in the morning here. Dad's screaming my head off. Sucks to sign out early. I'll check tomorrow morning. Hey, no worries at all. Thanks for popping in, Ronnie. It was nice chatting with you when you were here. All right, so we'll poke forward with our slinger. So far, so good, but I want to give our barbarian another turn, or our warrior another turn to heal up. So I'm just going to end the slinger's turn there for now. And then with our scout, we're going to stay in the city 1 more turn healing up, so that, in case you don't know, if you're inside your city, you heal up faster than you do outside of it. So that is what we're doing there. Meanwhile, we have the ranger technology here, which means we can actually explore pretty quick. We'll jump across the river onto that hill next turn and keep going over there. And there you go. The scout fell for our trap, so we'll get the kill here. Get 4 more experience. Oh, 5 more because we got the kill. I forget, you get the extra +1 experience for the kill itself. But then on top of that, we're 1 step closer to getting, speaking of getting the boost, we have Masonry ready, so it's completely ready to go. As soon as we get that quarry, we'll finish it. So now we're going to switch out of it. Oh, never mind, I already killed 3 barbarians. My bad. I was going to say we're 1 step closer to getting that boost for bronze working, but we had already killed them previously. So now let's take a look. We want to get up to construction fairly soon here. and we already have the wheel boosted, so we want to go ahead and get the wheel now so that we can start working on a watermill. And the watermill is actually going to be really helpful in this city here because we do have those 2 farm tiles, so we'll actually get make quite good use of that. And meanwhile, let's take a quick look at the great people situation here. So 4 of the 6 religions are gone now, but we're getting fairly close, and we're about to build finish another holy site prayer there. After we finish this one, I'm going to switch into production switch production in the city out of holy site prayers and into something else. And in the capital, we'll build 1 more holy site prayer after they finish the shrine, and I think that should be fairly good. Meanwhile, we'll get this builder to head down there to get some farms on, and this one is going to head down here to get some farms up and running. Even, how's it going, man? Okay, so we'll let our warrior heal for another turn. Again, we're going to keep poking forward here. I'm not going to go on to either of these tiles because the barbarians will come out, like I said, and we're not quite ready for them yet. So we're just going to take it slow over there. Meanwhile, our scout's continuing on his merry way there. This guy is now on his way up, correct? Did I move him? Or am I crazy? Did I send the scout down here and not the builder? Oh no, he just killed the unit. I am just freaking stupid. I forget. If you don't know, if you're new to here and you're not used to me, I'm a very special person up here. So bear with me. I have my moments anyway. All right, so we'll get this scout to head straight over there now because we got all that extra experience from killing the scout there that we're so close to getting our promotion that even though we don't have the survey policy card in for the 100% boost to scout experience, we'll still get our promotion when we get that goodie hut with the scout. Meanwhile, our barbarian is healthy enough here that we can move forward. So we're going to move here and skip turn. We're going to wait with our slinger, though, until next turn, because we have to get the warrior closer, because once the spearman comes out of the camp, if we stay where we are right here, the spearman will still have a zone of control, so we won't be able to zip to this tile. So what we're going to do is next turn, we'll move the warrior here, and then we'll move our slinger to here, and that way the spearman will come out this way and we can just zip here and then into the camp to clear it out. There's a method to my madness, I swear. Meanwhile, we do have that ranger promotion I talked about, so we're avoiding hills and we'll just head this way so we can explore as quickly as we can. Meanwhile here, let's get that farm online. This will actually boost irrigation for us as well. So that's nice. We got a 4 food tile now, so immediately I'm going to lock that son of a bitch in. In case you don't know, it's always more productive if you have a 3 food tile or more. I should preface that, or better, like 3 food or better. It's better to start your city on a 3 food tile than it is to start on a 2 food 2 production tile. What you want to do, the most efficient way to do it, is to work the 3 food production tile until your city gets to 3 population and then switch to production focus. I do have a city growth guide that I'm going to be coming out in the next week or 2, where I've done testing. I played 10 different games, and I have 10 different possible openings that you can do based on the same tile set opening, just to prove it, and there's graphs and everything. So in the meantime, just take my word for it. That's the very most optimum way to start your city, is to lock in a 3 food tile until you get to 3 population. It's better than anything else. Obviously, if you have tiles that are better than 2 food 2 production, those would be better choices, but just compared to 2 tiles. Gavin says, unfortunately, I'm heading to bed now. 20 minutes to midnight in Poland. I'll be looking forward to the recording of this on YouTube. I saw the first part today. And he laughs and says, I'm special. Yeah, I know I'm special, right? Yavin, just in case, if you want, because yes, this will be on YouTube. However, because if you follow here on Twitch for free, there's actually a tab on the channel where you can click on videos, and then you can watch the recordings of these streams whenever you want to, whether I'm live or not. And that way you'll be able to see how the game happens faster, because it's going to take me a while to sift through things on... sift through the footage and edit it and upload it to YouTube. So if you want to find out how the game ends quicker, definitely do that, because we'll be done this game and on to the next one long before I ever finish getting all the footage from this game up onto YouTube. But anyways, sweet dreams, man. Thanks for popping by. I definitely appreciate it. Meanwhile, we finished our holy site prayers here. Now that we have that food boost, we want to be able to keep our population growing. However, because we are, like, normally I'd prioritize getting a granary real quick, but instead I'm going to go for the shrine.
It's going to be legendary.
Hey, Jabama, thanks for the follow, man. I had to read it twice to make sure I didn't butcher it completely, but I appreciate it. Glad you're enjoying the stream so far. Someone says, yo, Gramps on Twitch? Hell yeah. Hey, then if you know my name, then you've seen the channel. So what's your screen name on YouTube? I don't, like, so many people have different names on Discord and Twitch and YouTube that it's hard for me to keep track of the screen names unless, like, you use the same one that you comment with on YouTube. All right, so there we go. Good news for us, he hasn't spawned any units right now. So here, I'm going to show you what I was talking about. We're going to lure him out. Because he can see our slinger, he's going to come out and go attack him. So we'll definitely tank the hit anyways, but it'll be worth it in the long run. Meanwhile, here, I think I want to explore the coastline. Nice, it paid off. All right, ladies and gents, fingers crossed here that we get our invitation for the Void Singers, which gives us another governor charge. And there we go. I didn't jinx it this time. Jabama says, Nern, my profile pic is a female holy paladin. Okay, cool. Love the vids and content. I think I'm an hour in one of your 8-hour live streams that you uploaded. Oh, Nern. Okay, see, I only looked at the Jabama. I didn't even look at the second half of your name. But right on. I'm glad you found your way here to Twitch. Like I said, I just literally started streaming on Twitch yesterday, so this whole fucking thing is new to me. Meanwhile, we got our governor screen, and we're going to go ahead and promote Pingala. Again, we're going to give him the grants promotion. And this is as far as we're going to promote him for the rest of the game until we get to rocketry, where we can plug in Space Initiative for the plus 30% production to all space program things. But this is hugely powerful. It's going to help us get a ton of great scientist points. It'll also help us temporarily with our great profit points as well, helping us secure our religion. Actually, I just changed my mind. We're not going to build the holy site prayers in the capital. After we finish the shrine in 2 turns, we'll probably have our religion anyways, so it will all work itself out in the long run. We are good to go and continue on our merry way. Meanwhile, we got a builder here from that goodie hut, so that is actually real sweet. We already have this guy here though, so we'll go ahead and build that farm that we were planning on, and then basically what we'll do with this guy is just hang around and wait, I guess, for our population to hit 4. It shouldn't be too long once we get this tile improved, and we'll lock it in as well. And then we'll chop that forest into the campus and then do something else with the builder. Oh, well, way to call me a liar. Let's see. This should do the trick right here, because he's within 2 tiles now. So we'll just let our warrior heal up one more turn, and then if he doesn't pop out, we'll just go ahead and kill him. All right, so let's make sure we're working that tile as well. Lock both of those in, and then put it on production focus after that. So any population that comes out will focus on the good stuff.
Don't reinvent the wheel. Just
all right. So now we have something to do here. In fact, I'm going to do it before the shrine. Don't worry, the build time here will go down once we get our population up in 4 turns.
Trust me, it's gonna be legendary.
Well, Elwas. Oh god, I'm so sorry for butchering your name. Thank you for subscribing. If you do see this on YouTube, I know you're not here live on Twitch at the moment, but I do appreciate the support all the same. Again, you have to leave a comment, Elwas. If you do see this, leave a comment telling me how to pronounce your name, because I feel so sorry. Like, I just don't know how to pronounce that properly, and I feel guilty about it. So, meanwhile here, let's take a look and figure out our path. So we have Masonry ready to go. We're about to build that. We do have some luxury resources, so let's actually take the time to grab irrigation real quick so we can get them on, and then we can trade for gold with the AI real quick. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to have to hard tech political philosophy. However, I'm not in a rush to grab it since we haven't gotten our governor plaza yet, or our government plaza yet, which means we don't have the extra tile or the extra promotion for Magnus to get him yet. So I'm going to switch out of this anyway, and we'll switch into drama and poetry instead. Or actually, before that, we'll get mysticism so that as soon as we do get political philosophy, we'll be able... Oh wait, never mind. What am I talking about? I forgot that we're about to get our religion, so we won't need great profit points. So yeah, it makes more sense to go to drama and poetry to get our rock-hewn churches out faster and unlock theater squares for us as well. Meanwhile, in the capital, we finished that shrine. It'll be 7 turns for that water mill. Are we going to be building farms here? Hold on, I need to think about something for a second. So Holy Site is 1. Then we're getting campuses 2. And then I want our theater squares 3, so that's 7 pop. Our industrial zone is 10 pop. So yeah, we actually have time to build farms. So that is worthwhile, and we have better production here. So I'm going to get the water mill in our capital, and then after that we'll get a granary, so that we have housing population for our city to grow. Plus the farms will help with that too, because you get plus 0.5 housing per farm. And okay, so our plan semi-worked. So the spearmen did come out of the camp. However, because they spawned a warrior, it changes the behavior of the spearmen, where they'll just attack anything that's close by. So that's why the spearmen actually came out and is going after our warrior here, is because they have another unit, which it increases their aggressiveness. So that's how that happened. However, it still works in our favor, because we're just going to move here. The spearmen will still attack us, and we'll tank the shot no problem, and then we'll gobble up that. In the meantime, there's no hills around to give us our added bonus other than that goodie hut there. However, what we'll probably do is we'll hit him here, and then he'll hit us once, which is whatever, and we'll back up to this tile here, so that way he won't be able to move here and attack us the same turn because of the movement penalty, and then we'll be able to hit him again, and by that time we can probably use the warrior to help out as well. Halfpack, hey there, man. Halfpack, is that you, Terry? I forget, you told me this yesterday. Like, I know you were in the stream, but is that Terry or I'm pretty sure it's you, Terry. Let me know if I'm right or wrong, and I'm sorry in advance if I am wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the name you chose on here. Again, it's just hard sometimes to keep all the screen names between YouTube and Discord and now Twitch on top of that all together in my head, especially when I have the fucking stoner's memory. But yes, okay, good, perfect. Happy to hear that I didn't make a complete ass of myself. All right. So this is the... Oh, actually, never mind. We're gonna take this builder and actually go do something positive with him, and because this builder only has 1 charge left anyway, so he's the perfect choice to sit there doing nothing until they grow to 4 population, where we can get more value by spending this guy's charges over here, helping these cities grow faster. Speaking of which, I think what we're gonna do is we'll wait the 2 turns until they get the Mercury, and then we'll buy that tile. So how's your day been for you so far, Terry? Alright, unfortunately for us, they spawned another unit. It's not the end of the world, though. As until the camp is destroyed, the scout actually won't attack us, or shouldn't anyways, knock on wood. So what we're going to do is we'll hit the spearmen and kill them, and then I'm pretty sure the scout will leave. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we'll have the promotion here anyway. So if we don't kill him completely with our slinger right here, we'll survive the hit, and that will give us the experience we need to get the promotion to heal up immediately the turn afterwards. So we're all good in that regard. Meanwhile, with our scout, let's boogie up here, and we'll jump across the river and get that goodie hut next turn. And then this guy can just go to sleep and wait for the 4 population there. Ooh, another goodie hut. Oh, nice. And now this gives... Okay, so this 100% gives us a reason to switch out of drama and poetry and switch to mysticism. Because now I don't care about the policy cards. I want the envoy that it gives us, because we're probably not going to get a first meet on this city-state. However, we'll be able to send that envoy the next turn afterwards, and we'll be getting an extra +1 culture per turn. Like, I know +1 culture per turn doesn't seem like a whole lot at the moment, but if you think about it, we're only making 10.5 culture per turn right now. So that's literally a 10% boost in culture for spending 2 turns to grab that civic quickly. So it is definitely worthwhile to grab. There we go. So we got the boost towards archery there. We also got the promotion. So what we're going to do is actually we'll move 1 tile forward just so we can see more about what's around here. And then we'll take our promotion. We'll grab that there. And as I said, the camp hadn't been triggered yet. So the scout just went exploring. Now we'll pop the camp, which is going to trigger him. And he's going to go crazy and kill himself on us. So we're going to make sure we fortify there. And then... we'll deal with him the next turn after that. Meanwhile, fingers crossed we get something decent. We got the boost towards Masonry. We were going to get it anyways, but that's actually pretty decent because it saves us some money. Now we don't have to buy our way to this stone tile here. Yeah, which means we don't have to settle the city right now, which means we can focus on settling these other cities that are going to get us more faith from their holy sites and get those up before having to choose that one. So that actually works out really, really well for us. Meanwhile, they did expand here now, so let's go ahead and grab that other tile of the Mercury we were talking about. But meanwhile here, with this builder, we're going to start on the farms because we want the city to grow. So meanwhile, I'm going to lock them into that tile. Like, they're working it anyways right now, but once we improve the Mercury, they'll naturally want to work those tiles because technically they'll have better yields. However, we want the city to grow, so we're putting it on that for right now. So Terry says, long, I recently got Miracle Era hearing aids. Sign closing docs got an interest rate reduction. All right, well, I mean, if you need them, that's definitely a good thing, I guess, right? Having the hearing aids is better than needing them and not being able to afford them. So I'm assuming you live in the United States. That's just a guess. All right, so now that we got that taken care of, we're getting our water mill. So I want to head towards construction. So that's where we're going to go. And the reason we're heading towards construction is so that we can get the boost for games and recreation here. And yeah, that's the thought process behind that. Meanwhile, we're going to get the boost to political philosophy this turn right here anyways, when we discover this 3rd city-state. So we'll move 1 tile forward here. With our vision, we should be able to see it. We definitely did not get the first meet on them, as you can already see somebody else has Amani in there, but that's fine. That's why next turn we're going to be grabbing mysticism here like we talked about, right? So we'll be getting +1 culture per turn from them. Let's definitely go ahead and declare friendship with Scotland here now that he's friendly. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and sell our open borders to Pachacudi, which will help improve our relationship with him. Plus, we'll be able to get a bit of gold, and let's do the same thing with Scotland now. Meanwhile, we have horses too that we can trade, but unfortunately, Pachacudi has his maximum fill, and Robert the Bruce is just a broke bitch. So there we go. Nice. We got a second promotion. That's actually a very, very nice goodie hut to get with your scout after you've already got your first promotion. It's a kick in the nuts when you get your first promotion because you're basically guaranteed to get your first promotion pretty easily. But now we're going to double promote him, so he'll be able to move through woods and rainforests without a penalty and through hills. So basically, he's a super scout now, and the only thing that's going to slow him down is crossing rivers or like running into marsh. Oh, you got an interest... Closing docs, you got an interest rate reduction on the mortgage. Nice. Way to go, especially in these times with COVID and everything. That's definitely a big fucking deal, even more so than it normally would be. Alright, meanwhile, we're going to use a little trick here. We just unlocked political philosophy, which means we can change our government. So what we're going to do, though, we're going to go into our government. We're actually going to change our policies first. We're going to switch out of urban planning, and we're going to switch into land surveyors in order to get the 20% discount on purchasing tiles. We're going to confirm our policy switch, and yes, so now we have that policy card active, which gives us the discount for buying tiles, which I should have done before I got that, but oh well. Can't play perfect all the time. And now what we're going to do is we're going to buy tiles. So we're going to buy this tile here for the pyramids. However, we're not, even though we're going to build the pyramids in the capital, we're actually going to buy the tile from Gondar because it's only 2 tiles away from Gondar, while it's 3 turns away from our capital. So if you look, it's going to cost us 84 gold to buy it from the capital. However, if we buy it from Gondar, it's only 56 gold. So you can see it's not like a crazy difference, but every little bit counts, especially in the early game when gold is very hard to come by. So there you go. We have that tile all set up and ready to go. We also want to get more. I'd like to get a production tile for this city because once we chop that district, that's going to be gone. They're expanding there naturally. However, that's not quite fast enough for me as far as I'm concerned. This city is really never going to have good population until we get our industrial zone built. So we're going to grab this one and this one for them, which spends our money, which is fine. But now what we're going to do, so we've used our policy card, like the discount for gold purchasing to get those tiles. And now we're going to go back to our government screen. Instead of going to policies, we're going to go to change governments. And we're going to change into our autocracy government and confirm that switch. And so now we can come back in and we can change out of that policy card after we've already used it on the same turn, and we're not stuck with it until we get our next civic unlocked. So it's just a little trick you can use in order to be more efficient. Hey, Toteg, he says, hey, I made it to a Twitch stream. How's it going, man? This is what I'm talking about it being hard to keep track of names. So, Toteg, is that you, Thomas? I think it's Thomas. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we have discipline, and we actually don't really need it right now. Oh, Thought Size. Oh, man. Who invited Thought Sizer? No, Bobby. Oh, Bobby. Okay, I'm so sorry, man. Like I was just explaining earlier with Half Pack when he showed up, it's just, it's really hard. Like, I have a stoner memory to begin with, but then, like, keeping track of the screen names from YouTube and then from the Discord server and then now from Twitch on top of that, it's going to take me probably a week or two to get used to everybody's new screen names here on Twitch. So forgive me for the first little bit of fucking up your names. I'm sorry. Okay, so meanwhile, we don't really need the discipline card in right now because other than the scout, we don't have any barbarian camps to deal with other than this one, which we can't get to anyway since we can't cross the water. So we're going to get rid of that. Probably. I might just leave it in. Oh, actually, no. Yeah, we are going to get rid of discipline. We're going to put in a gauge for the 50% production towards melee, ranged, or melee, I should say, is the technical correct way. I'm just going to call it melee, but I know it's melee. I've called it melee for so long that it's stuck, and I'm stubborn as balls and don't really care about pronunciation properly, so we'll do that. But yeah, we'll put that in because we'll sneak in we need to sneak in 2 more warriors and 2 more slingers. Well, I guess 2 more archers now because I got archery first. I kind of dropped the ball there, so we'll have to waste some production, but that's fine. So we'll put that in so it's ready since we don't need discipline anyway. And then we're going to put survey back in so that hopefully our scout up here that just got his promotion can actually get a second promotion fairly quickly. And then we'll drop land surveyors. We're going to put in corvée, and we're going to put in urban planning and confirm that. Or wait, hold on. We don't need corvée right now because we still need to get the government plaza, right? Actually, I will put it in because I'm just going to start working on the pyramids. That way we won't have to use... I shouldn't have done it. I forgot about the watermill. Son of a bitch. Yeah, oh well. You can't play perfect all the time. So Thought Sizer shows up and says, "Oh man, who invited Thought Sizer? How's your day going so far, man?" Alright, so meanwhile here, we'll get him to head down there and use his last charge. We'll get the farm here because it's more of a priority to make the city grow like I talked about, so we're going to lock that in as well. We really want them to hit 4 population so we can get the government plaza started. In fact, I'm more worried about the government plaza than the holy site itself. Oh, fuck me. I'm guessing that Saladin's in the game. Well, so much for a religion. Oh well, it's not the end of the world. It's a little bit frustrating because it would have really helped in order for us to use the Jesuit education religious belief, which would have allowed us to buy campus buildings and theater square buildings with faith. But it's not the end of the world. We will roll with the punches. That just means that we'll have to use gold more to buy them, but still we have plenty that we can use our faith for still, and so it's not the end of the world. What we're going to be doing too is we're going to be promoting Magnus, or not Magnus, sorry. After we promote Magnus to provision, we are going to be promoting Moksha as quickly as we can so that he can purchase districts with faith. So that just means not getting the actual buildings, means that we'll have more faith to spend on the districts in order to get our districts up quicker, and then we can buy the buildings with gold, because generally speaking, buildings are fairly cheap to begin with. So, Bobby asks, Thought Sizer, is your name reference to Magic the Gathering? And Thought Sizer says, yes, you're the second person in 10 years to mention the reference. See, now I'm going to have to go check what that card is, because I like Magic the Gathering. I grew up playing it like the actual physical cards, but now I just play Magic the Gathering Arena, but I'm going to have to search to see what that is. Alright, so hopefully let's take a look at Scotland's religion here, because we might actually get lucky. Fingers crossed. Fuck off. I was going to say, fingers crossed he has a good religion, and of course we get the dumpster one that he's settling. However, this will actually be nice here, because we have Watts. We'll be able to spend some of our faith, and we'll get +3 faith and +2 science. So that actually is not such a bad thing, and we're already converted, which means we can buy one. So let's definitely go ahead and buy one here. Oh no, sorry, we need to get to temples before we can buy it. So hopefully, I mean, we're heading there anyways right now, going straight for theology. So that will work out really well. Hopefully we can buy all of our Watts in at least in our cities with holy sites before some other civilization comes and spreads the religion to us. So this is actually kind of a consolation prize, and who knows, maybe he does pick Jesuit education later. Or wait, no, he can't, because he already picked whatever one he already did. Never mind, I take that back. Alright, meanwhile here, we're actually going to have to run from the scout. How ironic is it that we're running from a scout with a warrior, but we have to. So, we're going to move here. And then we'll move here and we'll take the shot with our slinger, because not only do we have better health, but the slinger will actually damage the scout as well when the scout attacks it. And then we'll be able to finish it off the following turn with the ranged attack. But we do have our promotion here with our scout friend here. So let's move one tile closer so we're not wasting any movement, and then take the promotion. I think because there doesn't seem to be much, there doesn't seem to be much forestation over here, so we're going to go ahead and take the Alpine Promotion first, so we can move without being slowed down by hills. Meanwhile, we can switch our government too, so I can actually get out of Corvée, which is good, and we can go ahead and... Are we building builders? What are we doing? We're building wonders, or not wonders, shrines and districts. So we'll temporarily switch out of that, and... well, actually, I don't usually like to use this. However, it'll be perfect for us. Oh, sorry. When I say I don't like to use this, I meant I don't like to use Charismatic Leader. I love to use Diplomatic League. I highly recommend it. The first envoy you send to each city-state counts as 2 envoys. We're going to confirm that, and now we're going to go spend that envoy that we just got, and we'll actually get 2 envoys in Non-Medal. Thought Sager says, I haven't played Magic in a few years, though. I'm just too deep into the username to change it. Hey, when you have a good thing, you stick with it, I always say. Thought Sager says, I lied. I came back for Pioneer for a little bit, but it was just for, it was just for a month tops. So I'm guessing Pioneer was a set, like they changed the sets every 3 months or whatever. And then Bobby says, I'm currently running up the ranks with an 80 card control deck. Nice. Yeah, I got into Magic, I still like it. I just don't play it often. I watch Day 9 all the time, though. That's pretty much my Magic the Gathering experience at this point. I love throwing on his, I don't watch him on Twitch. I just throw on his VODs on YouTube or whatever, but I like throwing him on when I'm going to bed and just kind of watching it for about 20-30 minutes as I get tired, and then frickin' turning around, so I just listen to it as I zone off and fall asleep. But that new the new theme that they have, though, that just released, looked pretty interesting. I saw an ad on YouTube for it, and then I watched one of Day 9's things on it, so I think I might watch another episode or two, and then maybe I start playing it again a bit in my downtime. Speaking about playing in my downtime, for any of you, because there's the ones I'm talking with in the chat here, don't worry for the people who you're here lurking. Just enjoy yourselves. If you have questions, in case you weren't here when I mentioned this, feel free to ask questions about what we're doing in the game itself, or just about anything in Civilization at all. I am fairly knowledgeable at the game, so I am happy to help you if I can. But other than that, for Bobby and Thought Sizer, if you're interested, after I finish this stream, I'm going to have a quick workout and a bite to eat, and then I'm going to be starting a stream on the YouTube channel tonight, and I'm going to be starting to stream Horizon Zero Dawn on ultra hard difficulty, and we'll be doing a full playthrough of that game over there. So if you're interested, consider popping by. But I understand most people like me for Civilization, not just for my ugly face and and special mind. But yeah, so we'll get that. Gives us the boost to apprenticeship, and then what we're going to do is go ahead and see who will, well, I guess we'll be trading. We only know 2 people, so that's a lot less anticlimactic. I was going to say, see who gives us the most money, but I forgot we only know 2 civilizations. So because Robert is so broke, what we'll do is we'll trade horses until we take all his bulk gold, and then that way we'll get 8 gold per turn rather than the 7 gold per turn and change that he was offering. And now let's see. Okay, nice. And Pachacuti doesn't have Mercury either. Meanwhile, again, we still can't trade him horses. However, we can throw on a diplomatic favor. Can you hear? I don't know if the microphone's picking it up. Did you hear my dog streaming? Hear it? Of course, when I turn the music off, it stops. He or she. Wait, which one was that? That was the girl Jinx. She was she was dreaming or whatever, and she's barking in her sleep. She's just going, roof, roof. Hey, great sleepy one, man. Glad you showed up. Thought Sizer says, which one is that? That was Jinx, the female. Oh, Thought Sizer says, I'm still waiting for the update on your fantasy draft, but that can wait for Discord. Yeah. Oh, fuck, man. A-okay. It freaking went great. I don't care. I'll talk about it here. That's what streaming is about. And if people don't like fantasy football, just ignore the next 5 minutes of conversation. I will keep playing. So if you do have questions about what I'm doing, ask me in chat and I'll answer your questions before I keep talking about football with Thought Sizer there in chat. Are you fucking kidding me? Seriously, buddy? Whatever. We don't have anybody else to trade for. It's better to get something than nothing. But yeah, Thoughts. So the draft went freaking perfectly. So my strategy that I worked on and so I was picking third in the draft overall, and I'd never drafted that early before, ever in my entire life. I've been doing fantasy for over 5 years. Oops. Great sleepy one. There you go. It's just you. Never mind. I don't have to thank you for following. No, I'm kidding. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. But yeah, so I've been doing fantasy for over 5 years now, but I've never drafted that early before. The earliest I've ever drafted in a league prior to this was 6th position. But normally I'm in a 12-person league. This year I'm in a 10-person league. But anyway, so I did a bunch of mock drafts because I hadn't ever done it before this early, and I came up with this strategy where I took Michael Thomas. So I guess I don't have to explain it because you know who he is. I took Michael Thomas first in the first round. So with the third pick, I took Thomas because he had 374 points last year, and I think if he'll come close to that if he doesn't surpass it, because now that they have Emmanuel Sanders, the teams can't double coverage Thomas as much as they have been for so many years, right? So I think he's going to get good, and I really think the Saints are going to take the Super Bowl this year 100%. But anyway, so I took Thomas with the third pick in the first round, and then I took Lamar Jackson, a quarterback, with my second round pick. I usually never pick quarterbacks until the 8th or 9th round. But again, Lamar had 400 and something points last year, and the nearest quarterback was 100 points below that. So I risked it. Hopefully he stays healthy, and hopefully he keeps producing. But I think it's going to turn out really well. And then I went running backs for my next 4 picks. So some rounds 3 to 7, I picked I went running back, wide receiver, running back, and then I grabbed a tight end. So I got, but anyways, back to Civilization. Sorry about that for those of you who aren't football fans. Just figured it was easier to get that out of the way that way than to keep talking about it and then have to hear me bumble and stumble trying to remember who I got. Pioneer is a new competitive format, Thoughts as it says. And then he says, yeah, I chat a lot, but if someone asks a question, I won't drown it out in the chat. Oh, don't worry at all, Thoughts as it. Just talk as much as you want. I love to engage with the community, and I could have my chat box is fucking half of a 65-inch TV, so I can see plenty of chat. Don't worry about drowning out questions. And for anybody else, you can tag me too if you Gamer Gramps. It makes the question red and highlights it more and makes it easier for me to pick through it. But I try to stay up to date with the chat, and considering that there's only 20 some of you in the watching right now, it's pretty easy for me to keep up without anything getting pushed back. But Bobby says always going to support, and yes, I'm running the blue-white companion. And then Thought Sizers is that I heard, and he heard the dogs. Okay. I'm surprised Lamar fell that far, but yeah, health is a concern. Yeah, I was lucky because I'd run in my test drafts. I ran after I figured out my strategy that I was going to use. I ran 10 drafts after that using the same strategy, and I actually got him in 70% of my drafts because it helps that I'm in a 10-man league, not a 12-man league, right? But yeah, so I was very lucky that he fell that far. And then Great Sleepy One says, hearing you talk about your fantasy football is like hearing my housemates talk about competitive Pokemon. Hey! No, I'm kidding. To each their own. But I can relate, because if somebody was talking to me about Pokemon, I'd just want to fucking put my head through a wall. And Great Sleepy One says, and I have no idea what either is about. Yeah. Alright, so let's finish off our scout there. We'll let our warrior just heal up. Meanwhile, we do have a nice location for a city over here, so let's go ahead and plop a pin down. And then now what we're going to be doing, so in our next 3 cities here that have the high powerful holy sites, that's what we're going to be starting off with, is holy sites. But now we're going to be shifting, after those 3, we're going to be shifting the strategy we're using, and we'll be starting off with theater square districts, because we want to push our culture in the mid game. And then after like probably 3 or 4 cities starting with culture, like with theater squares first, then we're going to be switching to starting every single one of our cities. We'll be starting campus first in order to peak our science at the right time, once we get like unlock rationalism and get our population up to 10 and stuff like that, to really take advantage of that. But anywho, we need to pay attention. Please remind me in chat if I do forget about drama and poetry. We're going to be building a wonder here to boost it, so I want to switch out of it without wasting any culture. So if I do forget, do me a solid and help me out, because we all know how special I can be. Meanwhile, we do have 1 charge left with our friend here. I think because we're getting construction so early that I am comfortable with just letting him go to sleep. Oh, actually not here, because we're going to be chopping these. He can come down here, because this city, we're going to save these chops until we get up to 7 population, and we're going to chop the rainforest and the forest here into the industrial zone when we have Magnus here. So in the meantime, we'll actually come down here and we'll build a lumber mill on the forest once we get construction. That'll help them with their production problem temporarily. And then once we get the industrial zone up, that will help with the production and offset everything. But this city is never going to be amazing by any means. The production, or the industrial zone, will help a little bit, but not too much. I more or less just built this so that it would help with the other things here. I don't think it hits the capital though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're 1 tile shy of the capital, so that's a little bit unfortunate. But maybe we get lucky and find Mexico in the game. Who knows? That would be sweet if we did. Meanwhile, Machu Picchu is gone there. We can't go through their territory, so let's head in the opposite direction. It's too bad we weren't playing a culture game. There's some nice fucking locations here for seaside resorts, like this whole freaking, like I'm drooling. I almost wish, well actually I have the turn 1 save file. I might play this again afterwards myself and do a culture game, because yeah, like that is fucking, nice. Alright, might as well let our slinger heal up too, since we don't really have anything crazy important for them to do until another barbarian camp spawns. We're 2 turns away from the watermill, which will give us the boost for construction. That's nice. Might as well keep following the city line. It looks like... Is that Scotland? Yeah. Oh, is that Scotland? Yes, I know I'm special. And by the way, in case any of you are new players that are watching, it's very important when you're controlling your scouts that you move 1 tile at a time. Sometimes I try to practice what I preach, but I do have bad habits sometimes. However, it's always better to move 1 tile at a time, because that way your scout has the improved vision, so you'll be able to see barbarians or whatever, and most times avoid dying, and unless you just get unlucky and your last move happens to be, well, hey, there's 2 archers here, or a warrior and an archer or whatever, and then it's Rip City. But yeah, next turn I gotta switch out of drama and poetry. Hey, Richie made it. How's it going, Gramps? Or, hey Gramps, how's the game going? It's going really good, actually. We had a little bit of a setback because we got beat to a religion. Or, sorry, we got beat out of a religion. But it's not the end of the world. It's just changes up our strategy a little bit, like not by that much. The only thing that really prevents us from doing is being able to buy campus buildings and theater square districts with faith. However, because we're playing as Ethiopia, we actually, that's not such a significant discount, or sorry, significant setback, because we still have the ability to buy our archaeological museums with faith because of like Ethiopia's specific civilization bonus. So realistically, it's not the end of the world at all. Meanwhile, before I get distracted talking here, let's switch out of that. We're going to head towards games and recreation. But yeah, other than that, the game's going well. We're just getting into the swing of things here. We're about to start cranking out settlers and building wonders, speaking of which. So we're going to start on the pyramids. We have some faith, but we don't have anything we can really spend it on. But it's not the end of the world either, because as soon as we hit the next era, we'll have a bunch of faith stored up that we can instantly buy a bunch of settlers and builders and other fun things. But meanwhile, we do need to get builders to chop the pyramids. So as soon as these cities finish their shrines, I'm going to get them to pick up a builder each. Oops. So let's go ahead and put that in now before I forget. And now that this city hit 3 population, I'm actually going to unlock this farm here, and we're going to put them on a production focus and make sure they work that tile. All right. Yeah. Oh, and next turn I need to remember we can plop our campus down as well. Apadana's gone. Oops. That was a mistake, but oh well, not the end of the world. Speaking of barbarians, not calling Christina a barbarian, but we just found another camp, so now we have something to do with our units there. Sure, let's exchange information. Let's go ahead and send her a delegation as well. And then we're also going to pay her for open borders, which will increase our relationship. And then on top of that, this is a sweet deal. So in case you're not aware, there's certain civilizations in the game that are willing to pay more for diplomatic favor just because it's built into their scripting. Christina is one of them. Canada is another one. And then China usually does it, but not all the time. So I think like Christina and Wilfred do it every single game. Teddy does it quite often too. But then I think generally they're like, other than those two that I know for sure, I think it pretty much just randomly fluctuates, and there's usually one civilization in any game that will pay you more. So you always want to take a look and like see what they're willing to trade. So she's willing to give 8, where everybody else should be lower than that. He's 6, and Pachacuti is 6 as well. Normally she pays more than 8 though, but I do think that they changed that recently, where they don't always pay as much as they used to. But in the meantime, that's more than enough for us. We'll get 41 there. Like I said, now we have something to go do, so we'll go ahead and try and clear that barbarian camp. Hopefully we can get there before Sweden does. Oh, sorry, I missed a question there. So, Bobby asks, does the Vampire Castle count only tiles, or does it also count districts too? That's a good question, but I'm pretty sure it's just tiles. Like, I'm not 100% sure on that, and I'm not going to test it out, unfortunately, just because I don't think it is. But if we look at it here in Civilopedia, it just says yields from adjacent tiles when built. And really, it's not, like when you build the district, the tile doesn't have any yields, like the tile is dead. It's the district itself that produces your camp, or your like faith or your science or whatever. So like I'm 99.9% sure that it does not work that way. But again, like I said, I haven't tested it, so I mean I could be wrong, but I'm really comfortable that I'm not wrong. Great Library is gone as well. Again, that's to be expected on DD difficulty. Like, unless you really, really work hard and beeline it, it's almost impossible to get at this difficulty level. However, we're at 4 population now, so let's go ahead and lock down that campus. But after the granary, we're going to grab a builder real quick, and then... what are we doing? And then the pyramids, but we need to move tiles here. Oh, I forgot about this. Shit, this was actually a mistake. I totally forgot to swap this back. But that's fine. I'll leave it in the capital because I want to finish that sooner and actually start working on it. Actually, no, what am I talking about? It'll help us get the builder out here. Faster. Yeah, so, not to mention getting a bunch of faith, which actually helps us with our science and culture as well. So that is the better route. But then here, oh wait, hold on, I have to do it this way, right? Yeah. So swap it. Now we own the tile where we're going to build that, but we'll swap that back. And here we can still... Shit, sorry. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. Place the pyramids down to finish my train of thought. All right. Meanwhile, oh, Richie says no. I think the Kree normally pay a premium for Diplo favor too. Okay, that's good to know. Great Sleepy One says if the AI is going for a Diplo victory, then they will pay top dollar. Thought Sizer says I'll do a Google and see if I can find the answer to the vampire castles. Great Sleepy One says don't do it. If they want to watch, they can come to Twitch. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. My thoughts exactly, Great Sleepy One. Thought Sizer says vampire castles gain no bonus if they're adjacent to a district. However, builders and military engineers can remove vampire castles, I learned. Oh, okay, that's good to know. I didn't know you could... So you can replace the vamp... So if you remove them, do you get to replace them? Oh, yeah, you can. So it says, if the castle is removed by a builder or military engineer, the vampires can gain their build charge back. That's fucking awesome to know, because I just finished writing 3 pages of a script this morning for a Sanguine Pact guide that I'm doing for the YouTube channel. So that is very good information to know, because the section I wrote 3 pages so far, and the next section that I didn't start yet is actually on vampire castles. So that is very, very good to know. Especially that's going to be handy in domination games, because then you can place your castles early and take advantage of the early production and not really be too like critical of where you're placing them, and then remove them and place them later on in the game when you get to the atomic era, and you can teleport to make it get your troops to the battlefront faster. Oh yeah, okay, and I didn't even think about this either. You can early place your castles and then just update them as you improve the tiles around you. See, exactly, I didn't even think about that part of it either. That also actually makes sense. If we're not able to get perfect tiles around them, it makes more sense to get the castles down as quickly as we can. Why the fuck is my fucking... There we go. Sorry, it wasn't letting me scroll the mouse with my WASAT. Sorry. I didn't mean to lose my temper there. Like I said, I try to be polite as much as I can and not curse so much, but... Yeah, Thought says that would be sick to replace them in dominations to get the teleports quicker to the battlefield as the late game progresses. Yeah, exactly. And then Great Sleepy One says just throw your castles in some hill or forest temporarily. And Thought says which makes vampires that much better in the early game as opposed to clinging to the build charge. Exactly, like that. That is really, really important to know. All right, nice. We finished our trading post with Hunza, which is good because that allows us to go that much further. However, I'm not really concerned about that at the moment. What I am going to do is we're going to transfer the trader back to our capital city, and we're going to do an internal trade route in order to get our production boosted in the capital to help us get these districts faster, or these wonders faster, because after the pyramids, I want to get the oracle, and then we'll also be making our way to Kilwakasawani as soon as we can. Meanwhile, like I said, I wasn't expecting to get the Great Library, in all honesty, and that's why we have the Oxford University as our backup plan, because it works on the same spot. I can never find Oxford. There it is. All right. We got it. So let's switch that now. So we're still all ready to go for the late game. Why the hell won't that fucking disappear? There's got to be like a fucking leave me alone. There we go. All right. Back in business. Sorry about that. Okay. Cat Canadian says, hello, sorry for the misclick on Steam. Hey, no problem at all, man. I mean, it was my fault for not having the do not disturb thing on it and everything like that. And plus, you didn't know about this anyway, so there you go. You know where I am now. When you see me, I'm going to be streaming on Twitch 3 days a week normally, from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. But in the meantime, I have some extra time today, and I was excited because I was having fun with this game. So I figured, what the hell, I'll stream. So I'm actually planning on streaming Wednesday. I'm planning on streaming Thursday as well, but Thursday's stream won't start until 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern because I work until 4:30 and stuff, and I have to get home and get the dogs taken care of and all that. And then, hold on, I need to make sure this isn't copyrighted. 1 second. Just because I'm on a list, like a playlist that's not copyrighted. Oh shit, it's on, no wonder, it's on frickin', never mind. I'm gonna start it off the top. It was on shuffle, but it just because it sounded like a different, like all the music has been kind of like low key, like instrumental beats, and then that one was the first one that had guitar in, so I wanted to make sure it didn't like switch off the playlist onto something else. Because I have a playlist right now that has, like, God, how many songs is this? 240 songs that's copyright free. So, yeah. Anywho, I just got scared there for a second because I didn't want to have to freaking edit stuff out too much on YouTube. But anywho, back in business now. Yeah, so no worries at all, Canadian. Oh no, we took the hill promotion, not the ranger promotion, so we want to avoid going there. However, I will pop up here just to see if there's any goody huts there. Our units are almost healed up, so we can go play with those barbarians there. Meanwhile, we still have 7 turns for construction, so we'll just put that guy to sleep for now. We're not going to grow to, never mind. I'm going to unlock that and force them to work the food tile so that we do grow to 4 population, because we want to get that campus up online as quick as possible. Thoughtsider says, I'll make a mixtape you can download and play through your streams, and I won't hit you for copyrights. It won't be good, but it won't be copyrighted. Hope you like Norwegian death yodeling.
It's gonna be legendary.
And hey, Canadian, thanks for dropping the follow, man. I appreciate the support. All right, so we have this here. So let's go ahead. We're going to send it to this city because it has the extra food. Actually, I changed my mind. Sorry. We're sending it to Gondar because I'm not concerned about the food. I want the production. And that way the trade route will be over 12 turns sooner, because then we won't need it in the capital by that point. So that's why I'm going to choose the shorter route for. Meanwhile, we can start heading over to the barbs with our slinger, since he healed up first. And meanwhile, we have to be careful with this guy because he is our super scout. We don't want him to die. And we did see that there were the barbarians over there. Oh, that's going to bug me. I can't see my mini-map. All right, we're back in business. Excuse me. So just a quick thing here for any of you who don't know. We do have... Oops. Oh, shit. We have a Discord server that I'll generate a link to and I'll post in chat right now if you're interested in following along. We got a community going. It's growing pretty quickly. I only started this a couple weeks ago, and we got, what, 20 and 90, so 110 people in there right now. There's a bunch of stuff in there if you want. Bunch of different channels. You can look for help, and like me in the community asks you. There's stuff for people who are playing multiplayer games, memes, screenshots, gossip, all that kind of fun stuff. And then as well, for those of you who do become subscribers on Twitch, when I unlock that, it won't be unlocked until next Sunday. But at the moment, so if you go to YouTube and you become a channel member, it gets you into this channel where there's a bunch of extra information that I post, like all sorts of detailed strategies that I come up with and research that I do and whatnot. If you're interested, it's just a way, like a perk that you get. It's $2 a month to become a YouTube member. Excuse me, if you head over and do that, if you're interested. Otherwise, don't worry about it. No big deal at all, but I will put a link to that in chat. And then it's, if you did want to go to the YouTube channel, just look in the About section here on Twitch, and there's a link to the channel that you can subscribe or become a channel member if you're interested in doing so. But other than that, what did I miss while I gone? I was actually smart, and while I was reloading the game, I went and grabbed water too, so I don't have to go and do that anymore. Meanwhile, so Thoughtsizer's still talking about his freaking Norwegian death yodeling. Mr. Burns says, am I the only one that finds his mistakes funny? No, I laugh at my own mistakes, man. And Bobby asks, what are you hiding, the rest of Hillary Clinton's emails? All right, back to business here. So, oh, hold on, sorry. I apologize for this. Close your ears, I'm clapping in 3, 2, and I realize I just said close your ears. I'm fucking special. But anyways, it's just so it's easier for me to edit when I put this on YouTube. He is going to come after us. That's fine. We'll just go ahead and zip out around the other way. Jose is a new subscriber over there, so I'm assuming, Jose, that you're in Twitch and watching, and you popped over and did that. Or maybe not, because I don't see your name in the chat. But either way, if Jose, if you do see this when I do get this up on YouTube later, I appreciate the subscription and the support. Fuck's sakes. God damn it, Christina. Christina just snagged the Oracle on us. I should have prioritized it earlier. That's actually a big kick in the nuts, because the Oracle is such a nice bonus to have with Pingala's promotion, which is why I got the promotion for him in the fucking first place. Ugh. Oh. I'm actually right pissed about that. Okay, so I need to... Fuck's sakes. This would only be a +4. So what wonder do I want to put there instead? God damn it. My fault for taking too long. There's not really that many wonders I want to get in the science game. That was definitely a big kick in the nuts. Speaking of kicking in the nuts. So Richie says, kill Christina, she's a thought. Yeah, she deserves to die now, Bobby says. Great Sleepy One says, but was it a kick in the nuts? Well, before I read your comment, you heard me. That was a kick in the nuts. I know I say that too much. And Thoughtsizzer says, oof, that's a punch in the yodeler. And then Richie says, did she also take one of the religions? If so, that's the second reason she should die. Great Sleepy One says, if you can... that's a very good idea. Great Sleepy One says, if you can't place a wonder, place an entertainment complex for the +2 adjacency to the theater square, which is probably what I'll end up doing, because I really don't think there's anything I want to build in a science game that can go on a hill. That has to be on a hill adjacent to a mountain. Yeah, no, there's nothing. All right, perfect suggestion. No, that is a very good idea, Sleepy One. So we'll put the entertainment complex there. In case you don't know, so first off, before we even get to that part of the in case you don't know part, so you want to build in science games, in order to win as fast as you can, you want to build 4 entertainment complexes no matter what anyways, and that was before the change, like the recent change, because the reason being is that if you take a look here in the culture tree, the inspiration for professional sports is to build 4 entertainment complex districts, and that's a huge amount of culture. Like, look at how much culture that takes, right? And you want this to get to social media in order to get the culture bonuses, and to get to globalization, to get your science bonuses, not to mention getting to digital democracy, which is synthetic technocracy, I mean, which is the end game government that you want. So, like, if you take a look at this, 2622, I'm not great at math, so we're gonna use a calculator, but 2622 times 0.4 equals it. So it saves you 1,000 and 50 culture, basically, by building those 4 entertainment complexes. Not to mention it helps with the amenities. And then now, specifically, it's just so much more powerful, because now this entertainment complex in the recent patch that just came out in August actually gives another +2 adjacency bonus to our theater square. So even though we missed out on the Wonder there, we'll get 2 for this one, 2 for that one, and 2 for that. So this will actually be +6 from those, and it'll get another one from being next to these 2 districts, and then another one from those 2 districts. So it'll be +6, +7. It'll be a +8 camp or theater square eventually. So that is definitely something that we're going to take advantage of, and it just makes it that much more powerful. Because now it gives the adjacency bonus like that. I was so happy when I saw that change. It was like, it's a small thing, but a very, very powerful thing. And it's more of an incentive to build them faster anyway. Because normally when I would do science rushes, I would still build the 4 entertainment complexes in order to boost that inspiration, but I would always do it late game. And then a lot of the times I'd fuck it up where I wouldn't have them done in time. So I'd have to wait to research that anyways, which would slow me down in the long run. And so yeah, like now that they give the added +2 adjacency to theater squares, there's no reason not to get 4 out like pretty much as quickly as you can. Meanwhile, next turn we're going to switch out of games and recreation here while I'm thinking of it. We should actually be switching out of it already and going for... Oh wait, never mind, because we have drama and poetry research, so I take that back. We're good to go. Anyways, we completed our shrine here in Lalabella, so we'll start work on a granary to get the population up. Because this city is never going to have good production, what we're going to want to do is when we chop out the industrial zone with these tiles and Magnus later, we're going to want to force our citizens to work in the industrial zone, and that will give them the best production possibilities that they'll ever be able to have. Meanwhile, too, to add to production, we'll also want to get a harbor here in the city in order to get shipyards and stuff. And in case you don't know, another reason, so if you don't build a whole lot of harbors in a game, that's okay, but you want to build 2, I was going to say 4, you want to build 2 harbors in a science game no matter what, because building those 2 harbors gives you a whole bunch of eurekas. So getting them, it boosts right here, so you'll get a boost for cartography, so you get 40% of 720 science. Then it also allows you to build a shipyard, which building 2 shipyards also gives you 40% of 1284 science. And then I think that's it, but still, that's like, it's definitely worth it to build 2 of them. Not to mention, especially because they have the policy cards. Oh, I guess we don't have it unlocked yet, because there's the veterancy policy card here, and they changed that a long time ago now, like almost a year ago. But they added, it used to only give you +30% production towards encampment districts, but now they added harbor districts to that as well, and the buildings for the districts. And then on top of all that, there's also a late game policy card that oh, I don't want to look for it if I don't find it right away here. I think it's actually in ideology. No, I'm wrong. Cold War, maybe? No. Whatever. Space race. Ah, yeah, here we go. There's also this policy card as well that gives you +15% production towards space race project if the city has either a military or an academy or a seaport. So yeah, it just gives you a little bit more incentives. So by the way, while I'm thinking of it, so what we need to do is we need to plan our spaceport cities. So our capital is obviously our first one, but we want 2 more cities that have a shitload of chops in them. And we're going to not chop any of it until we build our spaceport. Or until we build our spaceport. And then we're going to chop every tile in the city into space projects to help us win the game faster. Alright, so we have this one. This would actually be a good location because it does have a lot of chops. But actually, it would be better if we moved it to this hill tile here. because we would get more chops in the long run and have better production. So as long as they don't screw it up for us, this will be Spaceport 1. And then down here, is there a hill tile? You know what? I think it would be worth it to not settle on a hill if there's enough chops. But actually this... we'll worry about the other one after, because a lot of times in Tundra there's like a ton of forests around, so we'll see. We want forests or stone ideally more than rainforest, since you get more production, but we'll figure that out later. Which just says maybe Patala Palace. I would get Patala Palace, but it has to be beside a mountain, and the tile's not beside the mountain. Otherwise I would have placed that, because we will be getting that in this game. Actually, let's go ahead and pin that now somewhere. Let's find a mountain with a hill beside it before I override it and forget about it. Ideally, it shouldn't be too... Oh, yeah, here we go. So this city here... All right, what are our districts? So... All right, if we went... 1, 2, 3, we can do Patala here, which means then we could do 1, 2, 3. We could do an entertainment complex there. Oh wait, never mind, my bad, because of the frickin' die. So just their theater square. But then this city... Oh no, this city, my bad. This city now. Get an entertainment complex here. And then we'll build the Forbidden Palace here. Or Forbidden City. I always call it Forbidden Palace. But yeah, we'll get that there. Because then we can build our... we can build this city's 1, 2, 3. And build this theater square here. And we can actually build this city's entertainment complex here. All right, so this is, hold on, this is 2. This is 3. So we need 1 more. But anyways, okay, so that's that city's. And then I just wish those horses weren't there. That would be so nice if we could build another one here. But anyways, then this city gets their theater square here. And we can actually build their campus. Well, would it be better? Oh no, I don't want to get, because of the volcano. It would be a +2, +3 campus. Or it would be a +4. Yeah, that I'd much rather the +3 rather than constantly having to lose turns repairing tiles from the volcano spewing. And then, so this is going to then be +2, +4, +5. This one will be, I think the same thing, right? 2, 4, 5. Yeah. And then this one will actually be better because it'll be 1, 3, 5, 7. Right, nice. So we got some nice plans there. And meanwhile, we'll figure it out later. Yeah, we'll figure the spot for that last entertainment complex out after. Canadian says shipyard also gives you the production for your city anyway. Yeah, exactly. Like, I love harbors. Like, I'm a huge fan of them. The only reason I'm not a bigger fan of them is because they give you great admiral points and not great merchant points. Like, that's why I still think commercial hubs are better, because there's much better great merchants than there are great admirals in the game. Thought says another way you could view the harbors is 2 of them produce X science per turn, where X is the science from Eureka's divided by the number of turns left. Yes, you could, but my special simple brain thought size just I just have it in my head the way I have it. But yes, you could definitely do that if you felt so inclined or had the mental fortitude to do so. Jose has followed. Oh, maybe I have my settings wrong, or Jose followed after he subscribed. I don't know. Either way, thank you, Jose. I appreciate it. Great Seabowen says you only need to bother with settling on hills for cities with faith generation anyway. Not true. Yes, true in principle, Sleepy, but you got to remember we're going to be placing rock-hewn churches too, right? So, I guess it would take a lot of rock-hewn churches, but I mean, it all adds up. Not to mention our trade routes give us faith, and having resources in all of our cities gives us faith. So between resources, trade routes, and rock-hewn churches, I want to be settling every city on a hill, unless I can't avoid it for one reason or another. Richie says, I kind of want to see you do this strategy except with China, just build every wonder ever. Well, no, that would completely fuck everything up, because we're doing a science race, not a cult. Like, it would be a very good culture victory with them. I always do a religion with China when I play them, so I'll add that to the list. But no, like, there's only specific wonders that you want to build in a science game. So, and I'll go over them quickly. So ideally, the Great Library would be nice, but it's very hard to get on DD. However, usually you can get Oracle if you weren't asleep at the wheel like I was in this game, and it's very easy to get that almost in every single one of your games on DD difficulty. Pyramids are very easy to get almost every single game on DD, unless you happen to have Nubia in the game. They usually snag it on you. Kilwa Kisawani is the most powerful wonder in the game. You should get it in every single victory condition that you play. It is 100% worth it. It's the best wonder in the game by far. Oxford University is nice, but not essential. It's good to have, but it takes a lot of production. So the only reason that I'm even considering it at this point is because we're going to have so much production in the capital once we get our vampire castles going. And then other than that, Batala Palace, because it gives you a government slot, is definitely worth investing in. Same with Forbidden City, because it gives you another governor policy slot. And then other than that, the only other wonder that makes sense is the Oracle, which we lost, which I already talked about, I just realized. And then a Munson Scott research station. You always want to plan a city out ahead of time and make sure you get a good location. Also, for those of you watching, if you don't have a perfect location like this, it's inside of our territory, we're never going to have loyalty issues or whatever. But what you can do is actually, if you don't have that location, you scout for it ahead of time, find your ideal location, and then you just make a culture alliance with the civilization that's close by, so you can settle the city and not have to worry about loyalty. However, we obviously don't have to worry about that here. The other thing too, before I forget, what you want to do in your Amundsen location is you want to knock off 4 tiles, 4 woods to not chop. Because it takes you, with Magnus established, it takes you 4 chops to build the wonder in 2 turns, or in 1 turn actually. If you have 4 builders and don't have to wait, it takes you 4 chops to build the wonder when you're that far in the game, so you can instantly build it and get the boost that much quicker. So again, you want to have all this prepared ahead of time, but because the wonder is available so late in the game, it's easy to set up for as long as you use some foresight ahead of time. Thought says, isn't that city too close to the one you already have? Which city are you talking about? Here? 1, 2, 3, 4. They're 4 tiles apart there. 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles there. Yeah, just mention which one you're talking about and I'll check it out. But anyways, okay, back to this. So production, we just finished our shrine. Excuse me. Like I said, I want to definitely get a granary because we need to have our population grow as quickly as we can so that we can fill up that industrial zone and boost our production. Because we're going to need what? We have Holy Site, so that's 3, 4, 7. We need to get up to 10 population before we can even start our harbor, which boosts the production even more. So that's why we're prioritizing growth there. And how many turns before it hits 4 pop? Okay, 8 turns until we can get that campus placed. Meanwhile, our warriors healed up too. Hopefully that volcano doesn't spew all over us. But in the meantime, let's cross the river here. Ooh, Monsieur Bolivar. We would love to sample your hospitality, friend. And we'll send him a delegation immediately. And also pay for his open borders. And we will, we will sell him horses. So he'll take 28 horses. So we'll just call it 30 because I'm fucking lazy. But we'll try. And again, we're taking bulk gold because we want to do things with it. Otherwise, I would take gold per turn because you do get more gold in the long run. However, we have stuff that we can spend it on immediately. Meanwhile, let's pop back to the frickin' cunt, Christina here, and let's see what she'll give us for our open borders, and barely anything. She's still being a miserable bitch, and there you go. We'll sell our Diplo favor though. So generally speaking, I know as satisfying as it would be to go and kill Christina, it's just I'm playing an efficient game. It doesn't make sense to. As fun as it would be, I want to win the game faster, and I would much rather just get to space in time. Meanwhile, oh shit, I should have switched out of that earlier. Let's get into military tradition here, and then as soon as this builder's out, we're going to start working on that, on the pyramids. And yeah, so we're going to come from this way with our slinger around the south side, and we'll come around the west side here with the warrior. Meanwhile, let's see if this is a dead end, which it is. Hopefully that warrior doesn't catch up with us. And he didn't, we lucked out, so we'll cross the river there next turn. Meanwhile, there's still quite a bit to go, so... Alright, so I think this has gone on long enough. I will put a link in the top right-hand corner to a video if you want to check it out. If you want to learn more about how to plan your cities properly and learn how to pin them and get good district adjacencies like we've been doing here in the game, I have a tutorial that walks you through everything you need to know, like for the basic concepts. And then on top of that, it specifically goes into what you like, how you want to plan your cities for science games better, how you want to plan them for culture games better, religion and domination, etc., etc. So if you want, top right hand corner. Other than that though, I am going to put a cut in the video here. If you haven't already, please do me a favor and leave a like on it. I really do appreciate it, and it goes a long way towards helping a small channel like me grow. But other than that, I've rambled on at least enough for this video, so I'm going to shut up now, and I'll see you in the next one.